Tislach. This connected once again to Alice Muller. Now, this book, the author says, was conceived of by Alice Muller as a necessary part of our education. She believes that use of this book by yeshiva educators as part of the daily studies is urgent. Absolutely. We feel that our next generation, the author says, have been raised without an immersion into the events of the Holocaust, what happened, what led to survival, resistance, and what led to the opposite. Now, that period from 1939 to 1945 was suppressed by others at post-Holocaust attempts at life. They were not given enough charity, TZEDAKA, as we say in Hebrew. Their kids were mocked, often without knowledge of the survivors, and in Israel. They were an embarrassment because they had been victims. So the survivors themselves often hid the facts of their identity from others. This is what the author relates over. While there are still survivors alive, as a sign of respect to them, the author would like to request that Jewish institutions of learning teach the horrors of what happened between 1939 to 1945, the Holocaust, as part of the curriculum. One of these ways is for educators, teachers, to appropriate a time every day for a remembrance of an event and for specific yard sites, anniversaries of deaths brought by teachers and by children and teenagers to be commemorated in the class. There should be online visits by, let's say, Holocaust survivors can be a part of this education. This is what the author suggests also. As part of this planned effort, this specific book was designed to be organized via the Jewish calendar. So it begins with Tishrei. We're in the time of Tishrei at the moment, where there's the different festivals of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot. And probably most of the listeners know about the timing of the emergency rescue of the Jews of Denmark, many of whom are now being interviewed in Israel as they were babies during the war. The saving of these Jews in this book. Now, we don't believe an occasional visit by a survivor, an occasional class on the Holocaust is enough to understand the nature of the 24-hour-a-day horror that was the Holocaust. We believe, the author says, that this book should provide a central role in teaching about what happened, the horrors that happened in this period. And for those educators, teachers who are not Jewish, the dates can stay Gregorian. The author feels understanding how this occurred from 1925 to 1950 serves as, let's say, the best teaching tool to avoid another such, God forbid, horrific effect in the future. Now, the author states they are using the royalties, especially at the time period here when Elul and Tishrei, from all these books to help pay for extra needs for Nusan HaKohen Ben Esther, who was in ICU, has been in a bad situation. Hopefully he'll come back on track. And we always pray for a refuah shalema the whole time, for a speedy recovery. So one thing the author wants people to know, that if you buy this book, its royalties go toward the needs, and they thank very much. Remember, they also published various other books, including the book of Alice Muller, which we have recorded several videos on already. So we've recorded, the author has kindly given us about 12-15 videos already, which we have recorded on very, very important topics. And here we are, we just came out of Elul, and we just came out of Rosh Hashanah at the start of Tishrei. We are now at the time period of the Aseret Yemei Teshuvah, also known as the 10 days of repentance. Gradually, as the week is going to progress by, we will enter the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur, which is on the 10th of Tishrei. And eventually, the center of the month is going to come to Sukkot, the 15th of Tishrei, which will last 7 or 8 days, from depending on the country that one is in. So please, everyone, I recommend everyone to read these books. Once again, the author has really put in a lot of effort, just how important it is to educate the next generation. So everyone, I appreciate you watching, and please watch over all the previous videos we have also recorded within regards to this very, very important topic. And once again, by Alice Muller again, Al TISHKACH VAL TISLACH. Thank you very much for watching, and wishing you all a Gemar Chatima Tova, and we will all be inscribed in the book of life. Thank you very much, and have a great day.